Hi Grayson, happy Thursday. For today's workout, we have 3 separate 9-minute AMRAPs, starting up at the top, 3 candlesticks, 6 single leg RDLs, 9 sumo deadlift high pulls. We'll take a rest, then we're gonna hop into our next 9-minute AMRAP of 6 single leg good mornings, 9 sumo deadlifts, 12 skier hops. Then we'll take another rest and then hop into our last 9 minutes of work, 9 high pulls, 12 skier hops, 15 swings or snatches depending on the equipment that you have. So starting first up with these candlesticks. So one of the options that we'll give and how you can try it first would be to do a weighted candlestick, very similar to our atomic sit-up, just so. And stand straight up, then back down into your squat and continue for the rest of your reps. With these, if you can do that without a weight, that's awesome. Let's do that during class. If you're having a hard time with those getting yourself up, let's grab some weight and give that a shot. If you don't have any weight for these, we can talk about different modification options during class, whether it's using your hands. We can chat and come up with something. Back in here, the next movements that we have for this, so we're gonna go through 3 of those candlesticks into 6 single leg RDL. So either with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, object is in my right hand. I'm going to hinge at the hip towards my left leg and back up. I don't have to go all the way down. Depending on your hamstring flexibility, go to the point that you can keep that back nice and straight. So I will do 3 on one side and then switch, and 3 on the other. So now left hand is going to my right foot. Again, only going down as far as I can. Keep that controlled, back nice and flat, 3 on each side. And you can do that with a kettlebell or dumbbell. Then lastly, we have 9 sumo deadlift high pulls. So if you have a kettlebell, the way this is gonna work, I'm going to hinge down at the hip, go all the way down, and straight up, elbows high and outside. That object is underneath my chin, hinging down and back up. So you may touch the ground depending on your situation with your neighbors below you. All right, so that is our first 9-minute AMRAP. Then we're gonna take a quick break, then go into 6 of our single-legged mornings. So kind of similar to our RDLs. Instead of holding that object and performing a deadlift, my kettlebell or dumbbell or whatever object I have is going to be behind my back for these, but look very similar, practicing that hinge movement. So dumbbell is on my back or kettlebell. Starting, let's say, on my left foot, I'm going to be doing 3 on each side, going forward as far as I can, and back up. And I will do 3 on one side, then switch, 3 on the next. Again, only going as far as I can keep my back nice and flat. For those, 3 on each side. Next up, I have 9 sumo deadlifts. So again, depending on your equipment, if you have a kettlebell, legs are gonna be out nice and wide. The one difference between a sumo deadlift and a regular deadlift, we initiate the movement, hips go back first, that hip hinge, and then we have a little bit of a bend at the knee. Sumo deadlift, a little bit different. I initiate this movement with a knee bend, knees going out, and then I have a little bit of a hip hinge. So I start, knees go out, and then slight hinge of the hips. From here, stand straight up, I lower that object, knees are going out, and then finish with a little bit of a hinge, and up. So I have 9 of those. Then lastly, 12 skier hops or pop jacks. We've played with a couple of different names for these. Essentially, I'm going to start in a tall plank position. I'll go here. In a push-up position here, and I'm going to bounce my legs to one side, then back.
Nice recovery.
Thank you. And so on. Just watch out if you have carpet. Those are my skier hops. Then we're going to take another rest. Then we have 9 high pulls. These are going to be strict high pulls compared to those sumo deadlift high pulls where I had that hip hinge. I'm going to keep this movement strict. So from here, pulling straight up, my high pulls. Just so, again, pulling all the way up underneath my chin, elbows going high and outside. 12 skier hops, you guys know what that is already. And then 15 swings or snatches. So if you have a kettlebell, we're going to do 15 American kettlebell swings or Russian kettlebell swings, depending on your ceiling situation. So just hinge at the hip, kettlebell straight up. 15 of those. Or if you only have a dumbbell, then we will do 15 dumbbell snatches, or you can do 16 to keep it even. So you can do 8 and 8 on each side, that's up to you. So just dumbbell starting on the ground and bringing that straight up overhead. Touching the ground, straight up overhead. And so on. You have 15 of those, or you can make it 16 if you want it to be even on each side. So definitely a little bit of a longer workout. We have 27 minutes of work plus some rest built in there. So come to class ready for a nice long workout. See you in class at 6.